All right, everyone, please take a seat. I heard there were some intense conversations happening in some of our breakout rooms, so starting a little late, but we are here. I advocated for us to move the schedule so we could take naps before cocktails if you guys aren't. I'm a nap taker, so great to see all of you. So I am so excited that we have a surprise speaker today. We are so lucky to be able to have a few minutes hearing from a stalwart of this community, a woman from whom I learn all the time, who is truly one of my heroes, Miss Wanda Davis. Wanda is the founder and executive director of Ashbury Senior Community Center, which opened its doors on October 22nd, 2002, so almost 20 years ago, working with Cleveland area residents. Wanda has served in the community since the late 80s in various capacities and for many organizations. In 2002, she realized that one of the greatest needs in the area was access to technology and technology education. In 2002, how amazing is that? She has now turned her vision into reality, Ashbury Senior Community Center. Wanda is also a founding board member of NDIA, and I love being on the board with you and just love spending time with you. You're amazing. So Wanda is going to share her story of fighting for digital equity in her community. Welcome, Wanda.
And thank you, Elizabeth. All of you know how important it is to share the stage, to share a vision, to share a mission. And I can say honestly that with NDIA, we have that. We have a board that shares the vision, a mission, the cause, and we all actually come together as one on a decision. So with that, I just have to say thanks, NDIA, because when I think about our journey, the journey that I had to make, that Angela loves my little story, and I'm going to share that with you and be quick because I know we have to try to get ready for that wonderful reception. So in making my journey to digital inclusion, digital training, making my journey to wondering what it is that I could give back after having a full career with my business partner, my husband, and making that journey and saying that we have an obligation, we need to do something for our community that we have had the opportunity to make money in. We are Davis & Son Landscaping, hardware business, landscaping business, and garden center. All went very well for 20 years plus. And matter of fact, we still are going strong with that business. But there was still something missing from me. And I tell you what sparked the idea, what gave me the courage to start to speak about it. And back then, 20 plus years ago, my mom was still alive. She had transitioned to me taking care of her, and she had transitioned to the state where I took her to the doctor instead of her taking me. It was a journey that I was just proud to be part of, that I am so glad that I was there, that I was so glad that I was able to do it, and I'm so glad I took the time. And to speed it up, I actually took her to the doctor this one Tuesday morning. And as you know, when you take your parents or your kids, you go to the doctor, you get them checked in, and then the first nurse calls them to get the weight and all of that, right? And so I say, well, Mom, she's going to call you in a minute when she does, and then you'll go with her. So she was used to that. She said, okay. And so they called her name, true enough, and they took her on to the back. And she was back there a little while. And I was reading just some book, something I was reading about, just to pass the time until they brought her back, until the actual doctor would see her, right? And so that usually only took maybe 10 minutes at the most, maybe 15. But I looked up and I was like, it's 20 minutes. I say, well, let me give it another few minutes. I looked up again. it was 25 going into the 30-minute range. I was like, uh-oh, something's wrong. I wonder if she's got up and went somewhere else, because at that time, a little bit of dementia was starting to set in. And so I said, well, let me get up and go see. So I got up and asked the nurse, where's my mom? Who's your mother? Miss Mitchell. And so I said, okay, where is she? So she's right around there. So I went around there, round the corner, and lo and behold, what do you think was sitting there? A CRT big screen monitor with the keyboard and the big giant CPU. And I was like, Mom, what's going on? And she said, well, that lady told me to sit here and to fill my name out on that machine. I was like, oh my God. And of course, you know, at that time, she was 78, getting to be 80, 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago. And I said, I was livid. I was livid. I was saying, what? And so I was nice. I was very nice. And I said, excuse me. Do you have any idea what you've just done? Is this the way you treat all your patients coming in? Or do you send someone here to assist them? And of course, I got many apologies. But then I said, my mom is not the only one that's going to need this. My peers in my age range, their parents are in the same position that my mom is in. I said at that moment, and in reality, and I'm moving toward that direction. And so that gave me the idea that our seniors needed help, not just in my community, but across the city. And with that being said, I say, well, I need to do this, not somebody else. I need to do this. Just to speed it up a bit, I immediately got busy. I went to the city of Cleveland at that, told them we needed a grant. They gave me everything to fill it out, do this, do that, to get it going. I did it all, fill it out, got it in on time and everything. They say time, time, time. Only to be told, well, your proposal looks good, but you need a track record. So how do I get a track record? How? I say, you've been viable in this community already for 20 plus years. You know people. So we reached out to our business peers, our community people. I had served on the board of directors for 2 organizations, and I sent out 25 letters. And I asked them, I said, told them my vision, this needs to happen. I need board members, and I need money. And believe it or not, I got 15 yeses with that one request. And I was able to see the Ashbury Center. And I say that just to any of you that are just now starting up. I mean, our conversation today, and Sean did such a beautiful job, and Dave, on structural barriers and racism. That was one. But 2 in the same, because the city said I had to have a track record. And I had been on enough boards to know that there had been many, many grants let without track records. But when you have that mission, you have that desire, and you know your ultimate goal is to help people, to uplift people, the old saying is, I won't be denied. We'll make this happen. Just as Sean had talked about, we will find a way to make this happen. And then when we reach a community like this that understands and is learning to understand all the barriers that we face to try to keep our community uplifted, to make sure that our communities don't die, when we reach out and we see all of you and we say, don't stop, we've opened we've opened the first door, the first layer, it's conversation. We've opened that, and they truly stated that. Dan and Sean did this afternoon, and some of you need to go back and just listen to the conversation. They actually opened that door. And so now, with this community, we can keep that door open, and just as our voices are now that ASC3 is on the national stage, We've had funding from Google. We've had funding from Spectrum. We've had funding from Verizon. We've had funding from AT&T, and of course our own homegrown Cleveland Foundation. And we're on our way to open up a new site on the west side of Cleveland and hopefully on the south side of Cleveland, and right next door to where that first $300 came, we're getting ready to open up our digital youth center. So I'm gonna leave you with that thought. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.